Hey YouTube, how's it going? I've yet to post one of my StarCraft games, and yes, I do play StarCraft too, and I'm greatly awaiting Diablo 3. So anyways, I figured I'd jump right into my latest game, which was a TvP. I played this about 10 minutes ago, maybe 15 minutes ago. And I'm not going to talk too much through this replay. I just want to show you what a Platinum versus Platinum looks like from my perspective and from my opponent's perspective. It's kind of a neat game. It got to the point where he put down a third expansion, and that's about how long the game lasted. So it says 29 minutes here, so clearly we're some amateurs if it's taking 29 minutes of game time to get to a third expansion. But it was pretty action-packed. So he's up in the top right, I'm in the bottom left here. He's gone and sent his probe out to scout, but I have a full wall off. Building a cybernetics core. So I have this on times 4. I just want to speed it up because the beginning of the game is pretty slow. So I'm on 2 geysers here getting lots of gas. I'm bunkered up just in case he decides to push out. And now I'm going to slow it down just a little bit to times 2. So you can see I'm putting 2 bunkers up. I'm getting very defensive. I've had a lot of cases since patch 1.4 that I'm getting pushed hard, 4-gated or even proxy gated, and have 8 zealots walking at my ramp. You can see he's gone for immortal, and now he's going for warp prism. So he's gonna do some warp prism play, and I guess maybe this will gain popularity since the warp prism gains some extra shields and etc. So I'm on 2 barracks, and I went for quick starport with reactor, hoping to get some Medivacs out, get a lot of energy on them up nice and early. So I'm setting up my factory scout. And if you look at my vision, my factory's heading out, and it should see the warp prism. But in fact, here it comes. I never actually look up and see it, even though I should have seen it. Should have seen that white little blurb. Instead, he's going to set up his warp prism here, pull a few zealots in the front. I'm bunkered up. I pull up my supply depot. So kind of held out the front. Now I let all the units out of my bunkers, and I grab my Medivacs and my Marines Marauders and start killing off his zealots. He did send a few into my worker line, so I pulled those out to repair the front line while I dealt with the immortal in my mineral line. You can see both of us are letting our minerals get quite high. We're up to about 400 each. I should have been at least building something, but I was kind of worried I was going to lose the game right here. So up to 3 Medivacs. Still have my bunkers. Still have my front wall. He has 3 zealots. Back home he has not much at all. He's got his 3 stalkers coming in. His 3 zealots going back home. I've got my wall. I lost my my reactor on my starport, my reactor on my barracks at the front. But I still have 4 barracks, so if I could start adding on these add-ons, start building my SCVs back up. We're actually equal. Well, 20 probes to 19 SCVs, so he really cut probes to do that attack. So I'm going to pump out my first upgrade here. See the production tab, building 4 turrets. So I just want to wall that off so that doesn't happen again. I'll also block observers coming to my base. But what a waste of 400 minerals. I could have started building my expansion. Because in fact he doesn't actually continue his warp prism play. He doesn't do any blink stalker up my cliff here, my wall. So anyways, that was a waste of 400 minerals. Now I got 2 starports up, got 3 barracks with tech labs, 1 with reactors. So I really want to combat his stalker force, but he's really zealot heavy, so I don't know if I have the DPS to handle something like that. So I'm working on now the shield upgrade. Probe wise, what are we looking at? Slow this down. I'm at 26, he's at 45, so a huge lead on his part. Plus he has his expansion going. So this is looking really bad for me. His force is pretty equal here between sentries, zealots, stalkers, and he's got his warp prism. So rather than laying down his pylon, he's actually using his warp prism. I wonder if this is something new that you're going to see in patch 1.4. So I'm not even building SCVs at this point. I'm fully saturated here. I've got my expansion ready if I could just land it, but that is too big of a force for me right now. So I think I'm going to wait until my shields are done.
I have a whole bunch of Medivacs, 3 with full energy. So I'll be ready to push out here pretty soon. So let's see what my perspective is. This is what his perspective looks like. So with this huge of a force, I wonder what he's going to be doing. He has 20 more probes than I do. There goes his war prism, so that's going to prevent his reinforcements because he didn't put any pylon up. He's actually going to move that force back. I would have just sat there, honestly. So let's go back to the everyone view. I would have sat myself right here and kept on force fielding the ramp. Sure, I could have elevated down, but it would have delayed my expansion even longer. He's actually moved all the way back home. He could have kept his forces somewhere around here. And then as soon as I laid down my expansion, come in and gone for an attack. He has a great lead, and I don't know why he doesn't want to keep it. So he's got his robotic support bay here. Is he pushing out a Colossus? No, another Warp Prism. Warp Prism before Colossus. He's also going for his upgrades as well. He's at 1-0, Chrono boosting up, trying to get 1-1, and I'm at 1-1. So this might be an ideal time for me to push out. You can see I'm transferring almost all my SCVs because I mined out my main with those mules. What else we got? Pylons in each of these expansions. But ideally I'd probably take this one first, then this one second with a Planetary Fortress. But I'm really slow on my expansions this game, so let's speed this up again. So I'm actually moving my force out into the middle of the map. He didn't even bother grabbing the watchtowers with any of his units. Now slow this down again. He's going for his rocks, and I actually come in here fully stim up. I don't even move my units. I figure let's just deal some damage. I can't let him think he's invincible. At this point, he's pretty well overrun my army. I see the Colossus. I'm scared. I stim and run away. My Medivacs go through this middle void, so that allows him to get away from the Stalkers. He doesn't have Blink, so that helps me out too. Got a couple reinforcements here. He's not really building anything back at home. He's not warping in here. So he's got his Warp Prism. I think that's what he's gonna hope to reinforce his army. There he goes. He sets it up again. Again, never seen this play before. Warp Prism. So I try attacking, he lets me get out. That saved me right there. Heal up my units a bit more. He's kind of just sitting pretty here. Now I think he's going to come up this other side this time, try something different. What am I building at this time? I'm building a Viking, a Medivac, 3 Marauders, 2 Marines. He's waiting for his Zealot legs, that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for this. Zealot legs here, that's about 5 seconds to completion. 5 seconds, he's got Zealots up front, and here he goes. So this looks like it should kill me. Look, he trapped half my units. But what happens? My Vikings come in, 4 Vikings to 1 Colossus. Now 5 Vikings. But his ground force is just dominating, but I still have a lot of energy on these Medivacs. So I land my Vikings, anything to distract the force. I start pulling out my SCVs. How many Marauders do I have? 5 Marauders, down to 4 Marauders. Still going, 3 Marauders. I actually have 3 Marauders and 3 Marines back here, but I don't even notice. I'm too busy. My APM's not high enough. If you look at the APM, he's averaging 70, I'm only averaging 40. Right now we're both around 50. So these guys are just preparing themselves, having a grand old time, while I finally remember that I have some Marauders and Marines back home. I still have basically all my Medivacs. This is what kept me in the game, actually, were these Medivacs. Him never killing off my Medivacs just saved me. I could continue to reaccumulate that energy on those Medivacs and eventually be able to push out again. It's very funny, I scouted with this factory up here, and then I moved off to the side, forgot about it because he never attacked it. Quite shocked he didn't just put his Stalkers up here and finish it off. I guess he was worried that he was gonna go for it and I would counter and maybe kill off his expansion. So he's up on his 3rd here. He's transferring all his workers over. What are we looking units wise? He's at 54 and I'm only at 27. So he's got this one sort of in the bag if you think about it. There's no way I should be able to win at this point. He's just doubled my harvester count. I'm still only on, well, I'm on 1 mining base. I'm not even bothering mining from these little patches here, but I sneak in.
and I'm wiping out some probes. So I'm up to 13, 14, 15. 15, then I stim all the way back home. So he comes in hot pursuit, thinking, my god, he might have evened up the tide here, but not knowing that I haven't been building any probes this entire time. I've been sitting with the same 27 probes since he came in with that warp prism drop almost. So that was really bad on my part. What am I building at this point? 3 Vikings. I'm trying to go really Viking heavy to counter his Colossus force. He's going weapons level 2. I don't even have an armory to go for weapons level 2. I'm just 1-1. So he's always very slow at countering. That's probably what really screwed him over. He'd always sit here with his couple Colossus, you know, wait for some sort of timing push. It looks like he might be waiting for that ground level 2. But he's got to wait 40 seconds. In that 40 seconds, I'm going to almost double my Viking count. So I move my Vikings to a very nice location here. And then I keep backing off my army. So I don't even care that I've stimmed or that they're trapped. I want to knock down those Colossus first. There, now I come in. Medivacs are healing them up. My ground force is stronger than his at this point. He should have brought these other guys in sooner. Now, he's actually more powerful. I only have 6 Marauders, but all these Medivacs continuously healing. Stim them up again. Only 5 Marauders. I bring in my SCVs. That scares them off. I'm not even building anything right now, so that's bad on my part. My money's up to almost 1,000. There we go. Finally spending my money. So wow. I'm still at 29 probes. He's at 29 SCVs. He's at 48 probes. So I don't know how with the income he's pulling in that he's not winning this game. I'm sitting on 4 Marauders, 3 Marines, 4 Vikings, and 7 Medivacs. These Medivacs have been my savior this entire game because honestly, my macro this game has sucked, and it's been because of that initial immortal push and the follow-up. I haven't been able to recuperate. When he came in with those Colossus and I had to pull off all my SCVs, I lost almost all of them. So he's been very good with the pressure, but he hasn't been able to give me the sort of finishing blow. So now I'm up to 34 still. I'm making some SCVs not enough. I'm kind of focusing on this army, you know, and when you're sitting here and he's continuously pushing you and you only have 5 Marines and, well, now I'm up to about a dozen Marauders. Still same Medivacs with 5 Vikings. You're just not feeling that comfortable, so you don't really want to spend 400 minerals on another command center that's going to take forever to kick in anyways. You kind of just want to go for a counter and just hope that you can do enough damage to get yourself back in the game. So that's what I'm doing now. Eventually, I remember laying down a command center. Don't think yet. I've got these 2 starports with reactors. Still the same 4 barracks. I've got now 2 engineering base, an armory, so I think I'm going to start level 2 pretty soon, but he's already at, he's 2-1, so he's beat me to that. But now I come in here, if we look at his view, he's very much focused here. I think at the last second you realize, oh my god, my Nexus, my 3rd base. And he's pretty well mined out here, so he's pretty screwed. He's going to be delayed quite a bit. And I stim and run all the way back home. This has been my strategy twice this game. Once when I saw the Colossus early game, but now I don't have to worry about Colossus with this many Vikings. And now this time again I'm running away when I see all these Archons and Zealots. And I'd rather just come back home and hope that I can build up an advantage now. Still, he's sitting at 48 probes, 36 SCVs. If you go to the units tab, wait a second, the income tab, you can see that my income at 1100 to 200, even though I'm only on 1 base because of those mules. So he's coming in for the big counter here, so we'll see what happens. I just stim as soon as I see it, and I just sit here. See that I don't do too much until I start seeing the Zealots getting windowed down. Then I go and individually click each Archon. So I'll micro against this guy, go here, kill off the last Archon, and then he just gives up. He figures, you know what, I just lost my entire army. I didn't even bother placing down a Nexus. He saw my orbital going over to an expansion. he knew that pretty well I was going to get myself a good lead over him, even though he should have had me about 3 or 4 times. So that was that's a platinum versus platinum, and that's sort of my typical game. This was versus another platinum player. They tend to place me half against diamond players, half against platinum players, because I'm kind of in that range. So anyways, maybe I'll come up with a couple more, maybe a TVT and maybe a TVZ. I've been trying out Tanks and Marines, even though I typically like to go a fully mech play with Blue Flame Hellions and Thors, but I've been trying to go the traditional route that most players do it. So maybe I'll show you one of those games. Anyways, that was my game. I actually won this one, so yay! Anyways, talk to you guys later. If you like this video, like it, and if you want to see some more or any of my other videos on my channel, please subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks a lot. Bye.